Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. This is your boy, the coach from the WWE. I would like to welcome you to the very first wrestling podcast in the world to take you on a weekly deep dive into classic matches along with legends of the squared circle. Enjoy the discussion. Enjoy the back and forth. There's so much to get into. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Payoff.
Welcome to an all-new episode of The Payoff. I'm Tom. That's Jeff. Jeff, how the hell are you doing, man?
Boy, we are just in the heart of it right now. We're about to be out of January. At this point, we've got Sunday night main event behind us. No John Cena anymore. We got Royal Rumble this week. And so part of why we're covering this one, just over in Saudi Arabia too. We've been watching literally they're building the stadium, and so we've been watching that progress over time here. So I'm just feeling good. It's a good time. We're about to be on the road to WrestleMania, as we all love. So it's just exciting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Rumble, obviously. Looking forward to talking a little bit about the Rumble. And Jeff, I had no idea this match ever took place. How did it hit your radar?
Yeah, this was just one of those. I try and line up what the kind of premium live event pay-per-view is that week or those kind of weeks to find some matches that kind of fall into this. And this is one that, kind of really just kind of flew under the radar until I was going through a bunch of different Rumble matches. It is, I say, hard to find a lot of matches on the Rumble card that are good or even decent that aren't the Rumble itself, because so much of the focus is on the Rumble itself. So you tack on a really good match before that, or even before the women's, they would do it as the opening or something like that. It was really tough to find those matches that were at least above average. This one does fall into that category as being above average, but also it's the bathroom match, which feels really weird. And so it's literally taking place right before the Rumble. And the women's match was, you'll talk about, it was on before this. So it's just, it's one of those that people don't always focus on the non-Rumble matches. And that's what we're doing this week, is making sure we're spending a little bit of time looking at, there were some good matches out there that weren't the Rumble.
Yeah. This will be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
You ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right, it's time for The Build.
Oh, it's time for The Build.
Royal Rumble 2010. We're in Atlanta, Georgia at the Phillips Arena. We have 17,000 in attendance. This did a buy rate of 462,000. Dark match. Bellas, Eve Torres, Gail Kim, and Kelly Kelly are going to defeat Alicia Fox, Jillian Hall, Katie Lee Burchill, Maurice, and Natalia by pinfall. And Nikki Bella is still going strong.
A couple of them out there we may see again. Who knows? Natalia too, but yeah.
And has herself a 23-year-old little boy toy.
He's got himself Nikki Bella. That's good for him. Yep.
It's like our version of if we grew up and dated Sunny.
Right. That's exactly what it is, though. Just wild. Or Trish Stratus, something like that. Yep.
All right. Show starts off. Christian is going to defeat Ezekiel Jackson to retain the ECW championship. Miz is going to retain his U.S. championship by defeating MVP. Sheamus is going to retain his WWE championship by defeating Randy Orton by DQ. Mickie James is going to win the Women's World Championship by defeating Michelle McCool in 20 seconds. Our World Heavyweight Championship, Undertaker, Rey Mysterio. And then our main event, the Royal Rumble. This one only went 49 minutes, so a shorter Royal Rumble. The winner is going to be Edge, who would go on to WrestleMania, last eliminating John Cena. The reviews for this, for these matches here, Not much. Okay.
Mm-mm.
The match we covered, we'll talk about, had a nice rating. The opener was okay, but really not much here. So a lot of filler and blah before really the co-main events of the match we're going to cover and then the Royal Rumble. So storyline standpoint, I have no recollection of these two ever wrestling. So how in the heck do we get to Undertaker versus Rey Mysterio?
Yeah, so we're actually going to go back. Well, this is Rumble. We're going to go back to Survivor Series, actually. And you had him really coming in as the underdog in that one and then beating the Undertaker to win the World Heavyweight Championship. And so it was really, you've got, look at the size difference, look at who they are. It was kind of billed at that point is not that Rey beat him, but it kind of, surprised Undertaker and didn't really conquer him or pin him, in dominant fashion, because immediately after the 3 count, the Undertaker sat up. And so they kind of, build it as that, how did Rey beat him? It was a surprise, all that. And so going after that, then really that ignited the feud at this point. And so you had Rey defending the title, but every time he won, there would be something that would, and not every time, but most of the time, something would happen that would kind of indicate that the Undertaker was present. And so whether it was the gong would go off after promos, whether the lights would flicker after the match, just he'd appear and then disappear, just things like that. The Undertaker and the supernatural, a lot of that was present. And so Rey, a lot of the story was Rey knowing that while he is the champ, the Undertaker is coming back for his belt. And so that was a big part of this, was just kind of this really short story of Undertaker, Rey, I'm going to come after you. So getting into January of this year, and when this, just before this is taking place, Undertaker confronting Rey on SmackDown, telling him that it wasn't a failure, that he didn't fail, that he respects Rey's heart, but the line he used was, but respect does not save souls, which is a pretty good line, I thought. And so you get this really good Rey promo, actually, that I would go back and kind of watch and I'll share it when we post this episode of, he said Survivor Series wasn't luck, that Undertaker, he didn't survive the Undertaker. He did beat him, and that he can do it again. And so they made this match official in the weeks leading up to Royal Rumble. And so, it's just really a short feud or short kind of story that Rey's got the belt, Undertaker's coming after him. It wasn't too much like face heel necessarily. I guess, Rey is definitely in the face category and Taker's more in the heel category, but they still weren't, they weren't playing up those angles perfect. It's the Undertaker and Rey Mysterio. You don't need to have this, one was a face, one was the heel. It's just these two big names, and that's all you needed. So, yeah, I have no idea how this one's going to go or how it's going to look, but I'm excited for it.
Likewise. I think it's going to be a fun match. I know it's not a long match, so I'm sure it's just going to be kind of go, and a lot of fun. All right, so we are Royal Rumble 2010. We're right at the beginning of the match. Man, they don't make it easy, but there's the way we're looking at the timestamp here is there's 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 50 seconds left. 1 hour, 13 minutes, 50 seconds left in Royal Rumble 2010. So we think we're right around the 125 mark. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. It's time for the payoff.
Ho! It's time for the payoff.
Gentlemen, Undertaker nearly 300 pounds, Mysterio $175.
Here we go. One fall to a finish. The only way the championship can change hands is via pinfall or submission.
All right. So, 175 pounds, also 5'6". And I've never really seen him up close live before, either at a show or a signing or whatever. So it's hard to really grasp probably how small he is, but a full 6 inches smaller than us. And I mean, look at him in the ring with Taker, but it'll be fun to watch this match and see what they do here. Yeah, just completely gets tossed out of the ring. That was fun.
So kind of watching these competitors, I've had this question teed up for you. We could probably spend an hour talking about it, but is 2026 going to be the year of the retirement tour? Are we in the retirement tour era with?
Yeah. What are the rumors? Jericho, AJ Styles.
AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar is on the list as well too. I've seen Rey Mysterio is on that list. Shinsuke Nakamura is on. I've seen his name getting floated around out there too. Like, are we now? I guess if it plays out
imagine how much heat Gunther's going to have come end of 2026 when he retires all these guys.
Right. Like I don't know about Randy Orton. Like some of these guys have been around for a while. And so it's really hard to figure out, and they are starting to call people up, but Taker's been retired for a few years now. Rey, I could see him having one more final match with Dominic and kind of going out that way, which should be pretty cool. But I just don't know. I feel like this is the era we are now in, is we are about to see the people we know and really like. Sheamus was on this card. Sheamus is getting up there too. And so, but I don't know, I don't have full confidence that they can do it right. I think it depends on the wrestler. They don't need a John Cena type retirement tour. I just don't know if it's going to work for everybody or they need it.
Yeah. I mean, look, Cena is such a unique circumstance. So no one else is going to have quite the, there's just not I can't imagine anyone else is going to have that. I mean, maybe someday Cody Rhodes would do a 12-month, say goodbye to every city type thing. But, Cena was so unique in that regard. I mean, it could become really stale really quickly if it just becomes, retirements are tough. I mean, the Goldberg thing, it's kind of weird because, like, take Goldberg, for instance. You pretty much knew he wasn't going to win, especially because a championship was involved. So you're like, okay, he's probably not going to win. So it really wasn't that dramatic. It was just waiting for him to lose. I don't know. I mean, and then the retirement matches are lame because you always know, like, I knew Shawn Michaels was going to lose to The Undertaker, right? Like, obviously he was retiring. Obviously Ric Flair was retiring. So, yeah, I don't know. I will. One other thought on this is there is so much TV time to fill. Think about this. PLEs, Saturday Night's Main Event, massive Netflix contract, really big contract with USA. And of course, like the PLEs with ESPN. So you've got all these massive multi-$100 million, billion-dollar TV contracts, and you have so much time to fill. So I say all that to say they're going to want to keep these attractions active if possible. I mean, Brock Lesnar, what you want from him is 3 matches a year for the next 5 years.
Right.
So you can keep his name active. And I understand sometimes the wheels fall off like they did with The Undertaker. You just can't go anymore. But I'll believe it when I see it. A guy like AJ Styles, because of his style, might be a little bit different. Nakamura is not as big of a name, but man, if I'm Triple H, if I'm writing, if I'm trying to serve all these TV contracts, I'm really saying, hey, can we? I mean, think about this. If you said to Brock, we need you for a few more years between all those TV deals and the Saudi deal, we need you for a few more deals. We're happy to do $2 million per program, meaning you come to a TV or two to promote a match and then you do the match. Can we get you at $2 million a match? How many matches do you want to do? 3 matches? Great. We'll do $6 million a year. I mean, people may think that's ridiculous. It's well worth it.
You're right.
And to keep his name alive, to have him, then he's on a Raw or 2, and then he's on the PLE, and then you can promote it, and then you get the social impressions and the name recognition. So, yeah, they're going to want to keep these big names around. I mean, even a Jericho, gosh, can you get him to do 2 years worth of stuff and just space it out. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you make a really good point about like they play off the nostalgia. You need to keep these people around. Money talks. We know that. Like, hey, you want 50 grand to come, do a 10-second Saudi Arabia thing? Yeah, of course I do. Like, do you want 250,000 and do you want $1 million and we'll put you in a match, with somebody? And so I think that's a big part of it. I think too, like you said, more and more, you have to look at the sponsorships. You have to look at what the ownership wants. I think 2026 will be a big year too. You will see a lot more changes because of the UFC ownership in doing who the parent company, excuse me. And so, and all of that, like, I think that they're going to want to see a lot more of those types of things. And so who does that bring in as part of it? And so while as much as we want to say, the sponsors aren't the ones calling the shots, sometimes the sponsors are the ones calling the shots. Like it was, I know did not watch or follow Stranger Things after the first couple of seasons, but I know they did the recent Raw that was like Stranger Things, and all they had was like vines and some props. Like there was no characters, there were no actors, there was none of that, and so people were pissed about that. And so it's like it was just WWE, taking the money and doing this stupid thing. Like they didn't really play up. There's no match stipulations of any kind, and so I think we will see some more of that. But in regards to like I totally agree with you. Of like you're gonna see Jericho. Yeah, they're not gonna sign him to a year. Like he's not gonna want a year deal. Like they're gonna want to find a way. But also like then how do you meld all these different people? Like I feel like AJ has been the most vocal about this is his last year.
Yeah.
But who knows? Like he had one of the best matches last year against John Cena. So it's hard. No, he's not. What he was 10 years ago or TNA years, but doesn't mean he's not fun to watch still. And I could see him, him being one of the ones. I'll come back for one off in 27 or whatever. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, you want to try to keep these guys around and keep them fresh. I mean, then you have a whole nother layer of guys. You mentioned Sheamus, but I mean, Cody Rhodes, he's not a spring chicken. CM Punk, he's not a spring chicken. I think Gunther's 40, but I mean, again, now guys are wrestling till they're 50. But Orton, and I think strategically, big picture, what I'd be looking at is how do I try to get another 3-5+ years out of these guys. I mean, we're not doing house shows anymore. I mean, how many matches is Cody Rhodes wrestling a year anymore? 20?
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit more because some of the overseas tours, but I mean, keep these guys fresh. Keep Brock Lesnar. I mean, that's the playbook here. So it's been a fun match. I mean, Taker's selling a lot. And they're making it really interesting. I mean, this is one of the better kind of small man, big man matches. It's completely logical, right? I mean, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Taker's really overpowering him and Ray having to use his speed. So just to kind of give it to you some numbers here, R-Truth is 53. The Rock is 52. Ray is 50. Cena is gone, but 48. AJ is 47. Brock is 47. Sheamus is 47. CM Punk is 46. Shinsuke Nakamura is 45. Randy Orton's 45. The Miz is 44. Like, wow. You don't talk about a Miz retirement tour. Finn Balor, you wouldn't think, 43. He's old. And so Kofi 43, Asuka 43, Natalya 42, Damian Priest 42, the LA Knight 42.
Nikki Bella's in her 40s.
Right. Yeah. 20-year gap. Like, right. And so, but I always enjoy, I see LA Knight here is on this list and he's 42 years old. Like, and I love that. Well, they're going to repackage him for 2026. Like, I don't think that anything's ever going to come of LA Knight. I like him. I like the character, but like, they just don't know what to do. Like and
I just don't, I don't know. I mean, that's great that people like him, but I just don't, I don't know. He wouldn't be my champion, right? I mean, I just don't. I don't necessarily see it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I don't get it. So here we go. Undertaker getting him up finally. Last ride powerbomb. Nope, Rey escaping.
Back to the knee. Undertaker.
Are we gonna see it? Dial it up.
Another 619. Got it.
Usually followed by a springboard here. Mysterio from
Get some color on the Taker.
Yeah, he has nose movement.
12-18.
I don't think we've ever seen that before. 2 straight 619s. Mysterio's rolling. Went for the West Coast pop.
Oh, Taker caught him.
Mysterio's
Rey tried to springboard off the top rope and got caught. Holy shit. It was about 20 feet in the air, it looked like, for that last ride.
Yeah, the problem with matches like this is nobody's really cheering against either guy.
Right. Yeah.
So, I was looking at the crowd. I'm like, yeah, they're a little dead, but it's like, yeah, well, I kind of like both guys. So you're sitting there watching, you're entertained, but you're not, emotionally cheering for one guy or the other.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Take a little bit of color here, kind of selling the knee. Rey had been working the legs the whole time on this one, but yeah
really solid.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's get to the aftermath.
Ho! It's time for the aftermath.
What'd you think?
It's just a good wrestling match. Sometimes it doesn't have to have some crazy, like we know, supernatural or some really weird. That was just good. Like you said, big man, small guy, like it just kind of worked when it shouldn't have. But I figure you've got 2 of the best ever. They're going to make it work. And they did.
I'm happy with it. I liked it. I thought it was, the perfect length, very entertaining, really good match.
Yeah,
but
so
it shows you the challenges with babyface versus babyface, right? Like I'm just I don't really dislike either guy.
Yeah, and so even though Rey losing this one, he was still fairly protected and kind of the aftermath of this that. He did pin the Undertaker, pushed again or pin the Undertaker at Survivor Series. He pushed him at the Rumble. Like they did have a good match here. It did kind of put Rey as like he can main event. Like there's no problem in that. And then, but he proved that he belonged more than anything. And so Rey, though, away from the title picture at this point, but still positioned as can be a top person on the card. On the flip side with Taker, this kind of shows that, Survivor Series was a little out of place, an anomaly. It wasn't, the Undertaker losing a step. It was just how it was. The Rumble, this was kind of the course correction at this point. And now they're able to focus on WrestleMania moving forward and him having the belt. So no rematch, no nothing. The feud just ended after really 3 months, which sometimes there's nothing wrong with that. Like you just need a little runoff and watching 2 wrestlers that you really like out there. So PWI in 2010, you had Rey Mysterio was 13, Undertaker was number 8. Following the Rumble match itself, this was the best match according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter poll voters. The Undertaker dominated early with power. Mysterio came back and looked to have a broken Undertaker's nose, probably when Mysterio's knee brace nailed him. The Undertaker caught him and gave him the last ride powerbomb for the pin, 3 1/4 stars. And so on that one, so not bad, not good, or not great, but it was decent. But what do you what are you thinking for your score?
I have this at a 6.5. I liked it, right? It was really, really solid. So nothing wrong with it. So like a really solid 6.5. How about you?
Yeah, I'm at a 7. All right, nothing wrong with it. It's just a fun match to kind of go back and watch, especially these 2 guys. Like I said, I was entertained. Like nothing wrong with it. For where it was on the card, not gonna top of the card. It's not gonna put butts in seats necessarily, but doesn't mean that it's bad. It was really good.
Good. What do we have next week?
What do we have next week? I don't even know. Let's take a look. Oh, I know.
I was teeing you up to tell us. So yes. Hogan, Savage, main event, Saturday night's main event. Buster Douglas is the referee. Or this isn't Saturday night's main event, is it? Yeah, I think it is.
Main event. I don't know if they were doing.
Yeah, they did. That's right. They did some main event Saturday. It's main event. Okay, so we're getting the Hogan Savage match, and then of course the Buster Douglas thing's interesting because it was supposed to be Mike Tyson, but he got his ass knocked out.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Well, that'll be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it.
Good. Yeah, should be good. Yeah, we got a couple.
All right,
good
so
weeks
it's Rumble. It's Rumble time. I've gone back and watched almost every Royal Rumble with my 5-year-old who's now into wrestling. That's been a lot of fun. I have to explain who everyone is as they come in. He asked me if they're good or not. If they're good, he wants me to buy their action figure on eBay. So it's been expensive.
Smart man.
Yeah. That's it. I'm looking forward to next week. We appreciate everyone listening. Have a great day. Have a great week. And we'll see you next week, as always, on an all-new episode of The Payout.